So, the story kicks off with Adrian, this high-profile orchestra conductor slumped in his room looking absolutely wrecked, and he's clutching a camera replaying a video from his girlfriend Belen, where she's basically dropping a bombshell. She tells him straight up that things just aren't working anymore. She's miserable and she's done, ending the whole relationship right there on screen.
Hola, Adri. Esto no es fácil. No tenía fuerzas de decírtelo a la cara. Aunque quizás esta sea la mejor manera de evitar discusiones inútiles. Me voy. Te quiero muchísimo, pero yo ya no puedo seguir contigo. Por favor, no me busques y no me odies.
Adrian is totally blindsided and spirals into this dark place, sobbing his heart out before hitting up a local dive bar to drown his sorrows in booze. You can just see he's at a total breaking point, a man drowning in grief and frustration. And that's when Fabiana, a waitress at the bar, notices him looking like a shell of a person and tries to throw him a lifeline with some small talk. He's too far gone to even respond though, and after throwing back way too many drinks, he passes out cold. Fabiana, being a total saint, actually drives him home and tucks him in while he's out of it. But as he sleeps, the big mystery looms. Why did Belen really vanish, and what's the real story behind their breakup? Now here's where things get really weird, because the next morning, Adrian wakes up and treats Fabiana like absolute garbage. He acts like he can't even stand the sight of her. But once she leaves, the guilt starts eating at him. He realizes he just blew up at the girl who literally saved his skin. So he heads back to the bar to apologize. That apology sparks a whirlwind romance, and before you know it, Fabiana is moving into this massive secluded mansion where it's just her, Adrian, and his dog. Things seem perfect until one morning in the bathroom, Fabiana hears these muffled, terrifying thuds coming from inside the sink drain. She tries to brush it off as her imagination, but then she finds some shoe designs and papers tucked away in a corner, and the second she touches them, Adrian snaps, screaming at her to stay away from his stuff. As if the vibes weren't creepy enough, two detectives show up at the door because Belen has been missing for days.
Maestro.
Buenos días.
Maestro. Supongo que no hay noticias de la señorita Belén Echeverría.
No sé nada.
Adrian plays them the breakup video as proof that she just packed up and left, but the cops aren't buying it. They're convinced he's hiding a body somewhere on this sprawling property. One of the cops happens to be Fabiana's ex-boyfriend, and he pulls her aside to give her a chilling warning that Adrian isn't who he seems. But Fabiana is totally blinded by the lifestyle and her handsome rich boyfriend to care about some bitter ex. Later, at an orchestra gala, Adrian introduces her to his bosses and drops a cryptic line about how much he'll miss them when he's gone, which is news to Fabiana when Fabiana is soaking in the tub and notices the water starting to ripple and vibrate on its own, like something is moving underneath. And this follows a terrifying incident where the shower randomly scalded her with boiling water.
En media hora ya no te duele. ¿Bien?
No quiero volver a quedarme sola en esta casa. ¿Qué tal que me hubiera pasado algo grave?
No pasó nada.
Adrian just gaslights her and tells her she's seeing things. But then one evening, while she's alone, Fabiana finds a strange old-fashioned key hidden under a sink and decides to wear it as a necklace right as a storm knocks the power out. In the pitch black, she hears a ghostly noise coming from the lower floor and heads down with a weapon, only to be jumped by the dog, causing her to fall and hurt herself. Adrian finds her terrified, promising her there are no ghosts, and it's just the old house playing tricks. But while he's quote-unquote moving on, the police call to say they found a body. Fabiana secretly hopes it's Belen so the past can finally stay dead. But when Adrian goes to the morgue, he confirms the burned remains aren't hers. And back home, he consoles a disappointed Fabiana by promising her that he's totally over his ex. They share this romantic embrace, but the camera pans back and reveals the horrifying truth. Belen isn't gone at all. She's actually trapped right behind the mirror, looking like a literal ghost and watching them through the glass. The story then flashes back a few months earlier when Belen and Adrian were still a power couple in another city, and he gets this dream job offer to lead an orchestra in Bogota for a year. Belen was always insecure and never fully trusted him, but eventually she quit her job and moved into this mansion, a house she actually decorated and filled with her own work, completely unaware that her attempt to test his loyalty was about to turn into a living nightmare. So here's the thing, Belen wasn't just anyone. She was a talented shoe designer working for some big-name brands, but her life wasn't perfect. Even though Adrian paraded her around at every orchestra show as his official girlfriend, behind her back, he was constantly flirting with a violinist named Veronica. Belen caught him more than once, leading to a massive blowout, where Belen gave him an ultimatum: cut ties with her or I'm gone. Adrian promises to change, but a few days later, he gets caught red-handed and Belen stops speaking to him entirely. Now here's where things take a dark psychological turn. Belen starts pouring her heart out to the mansion's owner, an elderly lady named Emma, who gives her a chilling piece of advice.
¿Por qué no lo pones a prueba?
¿Cómo prueba?
Sí, dale una pequeña lección. El amor debe ser un absoluto, ¿no? ¿Sabes guardar un secreto? Ven conmigo.
Emma tells her that if she really doubts Adrian's loyalty, she should put him to the ultimate test. How? By using a secret bunker hidden inside the house. Emma reveals that her late husband was a high-ranking Nazi officer who built this soundproof sanctuary to hide from his enemies. It's a total fortress. The walls are impenetrable. You can see out into the house through one-way mirrors, and you can even hear everything outside through hidden speakers, but no sound from the inside can ever escape. Belen thinks this is the perfect trap. She records a fake breakup video, packs some food, and slips into the bunker to watch how Adrian reacts to her disappearing. At first, she's actually happy seeing him devastated, thinking it proves he truly loves her. But when she decides the game has gone on long enough and tries to leave, she realizes she made a fatal mistake. In her rush, she left the key sitting on the bed outside. She's trapped in a steel box, screaming for help.
¡Estoy aquí! ¡Adri! ¡Adrián! ¡Adrián! ¡No! ¡No te vayas!
But because the room is perfectly soundproof, no one hears a thing. The irony gets even more twisted because within days, Adrian has already moved on with Fabiana, and Belen has to watch every intimate moment of their new romance from behind the glass, unable to look away. She's starving, dehydrated, and losing her mind. When Fabiana is in the bathroom, Belen screams until her throat is raw. And while Fabiana hears these faint, ghostly vibrations that freak her out, she has no idea a living person is inches away. Belen even messes with the pipes to send scalding water through the shower just to get a reaction, making Fabiana believe the house is haunted. Eventually, Fabiana finds that mysterious key and starts wearing it as a necklace, never realizing it's the key to Belen's cage. One day, Fabiana stands before the mirror and asks, "Are you a ghost?" Belen bangs on the pipes with a metal rod, creating a rhythmic vibration that finally makes Fabiana realize someone is trapped back there. She even confirms it by asking, "Are you Belen?" and getting a response. And Fabiana finds the keyhole. But then she pauses. She realizes that if she lets Belen out, she loses her handsome, rich boyfriend and her golden goose lifestyle. So she decides to walk away, leaving Belen to rot in the dark. But karma is a masterpiece, right? Fabiana soon realizes Adrian is already cheating on her with Veronica too, just like he did to Belen. Disgusted and realizing their relationship is a sham, Fabiana goes back to the mirror, but there's no answer. Panic sets in. Did Belen die? She finally unlocks the door and steps into the filthy dark bunker to check, only for Belen, who was faking being unconscious, to smash a bottle over Fabiana's head. Belen grabs the key, locks Fabiana inside the bunker, and finally steps out into the light. Before she leaves for good, Belen leaves a final gift for Adrian, a photo of the two of them taped to the mirror and the key sitting right on the bed. When Adrian comes home, his dog leads him to the room where he finds the evidence of what's been happening under his nose the whole time. While Fabiana is now the one banging on the glass, begging for a rescue that might never come. Talk about a toxic cycle, right? You've got a cheating boyfriend, a paranoid girlfriend, and a gold-digging replacement. It's a recipe for disaster. Whether you call it a thriller or a cautionary tale, one thing's for sure, some secrets are better left behind the glass. What did you think of that ending? Let me know.